Dear children, today we are going to learn the second prose, When the Trees Walked. Section 1, please take that page number 112. The story starts with the narrator and his grandfather. They were sitting on the veranda steps when the narrator noticed a tendril. What's the meaning for tendril? Slender stem. A climbing plant, isn't it? It creeping towards the grandfather. After 20 minutes, the tendril crosses the step and touches grandfather's feet. The narrator believes there is a scientific explanation to the plant's behavior. What is scientific explanation? Something to do with light and warmth perhaps, isn't it? எங்க சூரிய ஒளியோ அந்த வார்ம்த் இருக்கோ அந்த இடத்தை நோக்கி தான் எது போகும்? ட்ரெண்டில் போகும். But our grandfather thought it wanted to be near grandfather. அவர் என்ன நினைக்கிறாரு? இல்லை எங்க தாத்தா இருக்கிறதுனால தான் அந்த creeper எங்க தாத்தாவை தேடி போகுது அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறாரு. அதே மாதிரி whenever the grandfather joined the narrator in the garden becomes so happy place. Who was this grandfather? The grandfather served many years in the Indian Forest Service. அதனால தான் அவருக்கு எதை பிடிக்கும் ரொம்ப? She liked trees and plants very much. What did he do after his retirement? After his retirement, he built in a bungalow on the outer area of Dehradun. Where is this Dehradun? It is the capital of Uttarakhand. What did he do to around his house? வீடை கட்டிக்கிட்டு தாத்தா என்னென்ன செய்கிறாரு வீடை சுற்றி? He planted trees like lime, mango, orange and guava around the house. The Doon Valley was fertile. What's the meaning for valley? The low land between two mountains. So here the Doon Valley. It is in city of Dehradun. Okay. The Doon Valley was fertile. ரொம்ப செழிப்பா இருக்கு. அதனால all the trees grow tall and strong. In his house there was one old peepal tree, and this old peepal tree broke through the walls of an abandoned outhouse. The peepal trees have broad-chested trunk and slim-waisted leaves that spin like tops, which attract our attention and invite us into their shade. Grandmother wanted to cut down this peepal tree because it broke that outhouse, isn't it? But grandfather decided not to be. Thought he could build another outhouse. தாத்தா என்ன சொல்றார்? If the house broke, we will build another house. இன்னொரு ஹவுஸை கட்டிக்கலாம். அதுக்காக பீப்பால் ட்ரீ எல்லாம் கட் பண்ண முடியாது. Okay. The grandfather interested to plant trees, isn't it? Then what about grandmother? She was interested to making gardening or flower garden. Grandmother was not against trees but fond of growing flowers. So she ordered seeds of flowers. Grandfather also helped her out in gardening. Why he helped her? Grandfather helped her not because he liked flower garden, but he liked watching butterflies attracted towards the flowers. Okay. In this first section, there are 3 questions. Please listen that page number 112. Discuss and answer. When did the garden become a happy place for the author? When எப்போ அவர் வந்து ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியாக ஃபீல் பண்ணுறார்? When his grandfather joined him. இல்லையா? தாத்தாவோட இருக்கும்போது the garden become very happy. Second one, what were the 2 reasons the author gives for the plants moving towards grandfather? There are 2 reasons. Any reasons? First one, light and warmth. Second one, they like to be near grandpa. Third question, why does he write think that the peepal tree is a great show off? அது பார்க்குறதுக்கு அந்த peepal tree ரொம்ப show off இருக்கு. For why? ஏன்? Even when there is no breeze, their broad-chested, slim-weighted leaves will spin like a tops, determined to attract our attention and invite us into the shade. So, it is great show off. Section 2. Listen to page number 113. Grandfather was not content with growing trees in his compound. During the rainy season, he would walk into the jungle. Jungle means forest beyond the riverbed with the saplings and cuttings which he would plant in the forest. Why he goes beyond the riverbed to plant the trees or plant the plant in the forest? The narrator was surprised. He questioned to grandfather that no one would come there. அங்கே யாருமே வரமாட்டாங்க, எதுக்காக அந்த ட்ரீஸை நம்ம அங்கே போய் நடுறோம் அப்படின்ட்டு அவருக்கு டவுட்டு. So he questioned to grandfather. Grandfather replied that he was planting them for the forest and for the animals and birds and for more food and shelter. He also explained that trees are required. அது என்னென்ன கொடுக்குது பாருமா, to keep the desert away. What's the meaning for desert? A large area of the land, usually covered with the sand. That is so hot place. It has very little water and very few plants. அங்க people வாழ முடியுமா desertல? No. So the trees required to keep the desert away, and it required or it trees attract rain. The trees prevent the banks of rivers from being washed away. The trees prevent soil erosion, isn't it? மண்ணரிப்பை தடுக்குது. So it the banks of the river from being washed away. And for fruits and flowers, it gives fruits and flowers. So the narrator helped grandfather with enthusiasm while grandfather taught the narrator a George Morris poem. What is that poem? Woodman, spare that tree, touch not a single bough. In youth it sheltered me, and I will protect it now. One day the trees will move again, said grandfather. Grandfather said the trees would start to walking again like they did earlier, until some busybody cast a spell on them. How does it move? For example, banyan tree. Banyan tree with its traveling aerial roads managed to get quite far, isn't it? So the trees move with their roads. The narrator and grandfather saw an island that was dry in summer but flooded during rains. Summerல வந்து அந்த island, what's the meaning for island? The four sides covered with water, isn't it? Summerல அந்த island வந்து எப்படி இருக்கும்? ட்ரையாக இருக்கும். பட் இந்த ஃப்ளட்டட் வெள்ளப்பெருக்கு ஏற்படும் போது ரொம்ப தண்ணி அதிகமாக இருக்கும். ஸோ கிராண்ட்ஃபாதர் saw a small mango tree growing there. So he decided to plant tamarind, laburnum and coral tree saplings on that island. There we can see the three questions. Please take that page number 114. First one, why do we need trees? List 4 reasons that grandfather gives. Why do we need trees? We need trees to keep the desert away, to attract rain, to prevent banks of rivers being washed away, or to prevent soil erosion சொல்லலாம், for fruits and flowers, for timber. Second question, why did the author help his grandfather plant trees? The thought of the world without trees became a sort of nightmare to the author, and so he helped his grandfather in his tree planting with greater enthusiasm. Question third, what made grandfather plant saplings on the rocky island? எதனால் அந்த ஐலண்டில் வந்து அவர் ட்ரீயை பிளான் பண்ணுறாரு? அவர் எதை பார்க்குறாரு? There was a mango tree on the island, isn't it? He saw a mango tree on the island, so grandfather planted saplings there. Section 3, page number 115. Listen, the narrator spent the monsoon seasons with his grandparents, where he saw life and greenness brought by the rains. He also saw broad leaves vines, peepal trees taking root in the ceiling, a mango sprout on the window sill. During the Second World War, the narrator went to live with his father in Delhi. அதுக்கப்புறமா ஒரு 2 or 3 years he left for England. இங்கிலாந்துக்கு போயிடுறாரு and returned to India after several years. இப்போ இவர் இங்கே வந்து என்ன பார்க்குறாரு அதான் லெசனில் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க பாரு. When he returned to Dehradun after many years, he walked towards the river bed. தாத்தா கூட போய் அங்கே பிளான் பண்ணாங்க இல்லையா, சாப்ளிங்ஸ் எல்லாம் வச்சாங்களா, அந்த ரிவர் பெட்டுக்கு போகிறாரு. He was surprised to see the spectacular or amazing view of the island where they had planted coral tree saplings. He could hear squirrels and quail asking him who he was. அப்படின்னு சொல்றது மாதிரி அவருக்கு சத்தம் கேட்குது. The narrator could see that the trees recognized him. அவர் நினைக்கிறாரு, எஸ் இந்த ட்ரீஸ் எல்லாம் என்ன நினைக்குதேன்னு அதை பிளான்ட் பண்ணது. Who is plant that who were planted the tree? Arthur and his grandfather, isn't it? So, and came nearer, he thought of what his grandfather had said. தாத்தா என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காரு? Trees are walking again அப்படின்னு தாத்தா சொன்னதை அவர் நினைச்சு பார்க்குறாரு. ஓகே, in this section 3 you have 4 questions. Please take that page number 116. What did grandmother feel about trees growing in the house? Grandmother felt that trees grows in the house made it look like a roof brought down by jungle. Second question, why did the author leave town? ஏன் leave போறாரு? The author left town to live with his father. How did grandfather's dream come true? Answer, the island became a small green paradise. ஒரு சொர்க்க மாதிரி இருக்கு இல்லையா அந்த ஐலாண்ட். அப்புறம் லண்டன்லேருந்து வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் இவர் போய் பார்க்குறாரு இல்லையாப்பா, அந்த டைட்டில் it became a small green paradise. Describe what the author saw when he went back to the island. When he went back to the island, the author noticed smaller trees, wild plants and grasses had sprung up under their protection. The trees they had planted long ago had multiplied. அதான் அவர் என்ன சொல்றாரு தாத்தா? Trees are walking again அப்படிங்கிறார். ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ.